Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new episode of All About a Fursuiter, the series where we interview furries, get to know a little bit more about the furry fandom, one furry at a time. Yes, yes, yes! So yes, we are in the last week of June, the last week of Pride Month. This is actually going to be the last video released in Pride Month, and I decided to release a really epic interview for the final week of Pride Month. Yes, yes, yes! So today's interview, yes, we're going to be interviewing none other than the Australian furry known as Colto Fox. Yes, 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 yes! As always, we will ask Colto 5 questions. And without further ado, let's get into it. Woo! On to the first question now, and this is for you, Colto. And that is, when did you find the furry fandom? And what is your story behind it?
Hey Benji, I'm Colto Fox, coming to you from Sydney, Australia. I've been a part of the furry fandom since about 2008. That was 17 years ago. It started from browsing art on Google Images, which led me to DeviantArt, and from there eventually, Furfinity. Step forward about 11 years to 2019, and that's the year I became socially active in the furry community. Things took off in full swing from there, from designing a persona to getting a fursuit. I think it took me to a better future overall. There's an entire video on this subject that I made in 2020 that's available on my YouTube channel if you'd like to learn more.
You know, I think that is really cool that you found the furry fandom back in 2008. I love hearing your story. I think that is really awesome. Yes! Now on to the second question and that is, what is your story behind Colto and Molto?
So the gist of it is that these are two sonas of mine that are brothers of each other, that had formed coincidentally. I designed Colto Fox back in 2019, but weeks later, I ordered a pre-made partial from Loop Suits for the suit that eventually became Molto Fox. When I saw the listing for Molto, I instantly fell in love with the character design, since red is my favorite color. And I incorporated this into Colto as well. So the characters became brothers, with the orange and red colors swapped around their heads. Both these characters have full suits now. Molto's official reference sheet wasn't created until January 2021.
You know, I think that is really cool hearing about the brothers of Colto and Molto and how they developed to be one. I really love hearing that story. I think that is really awesome, man. I love that. And now, on to the third question now, and that is, to those who want to be photographer in the furry fandom, what are some tips and tricks that you can give them? Yes.
If you're looking to become a fursuit photographer in the fandom, it's actually quite simple to start with something as simple as a cell phone. From there you can work out the basic framing and composition that you can use on other cameras down the line. When you do, however, decide to upgrade to a fully fledged camera, I would strongly recommend focusing your efforts on acquiring a sharper lens, rather than an expensive camera body. I emphasize this through using different formats such as 35mm film, which I've often developed myself, that still looks super cool. I actually presented film photography at a panel at Aurora 2023, also on my YouTube channel.
You know, I think that is really cool. And there are so many amazing furry photographers out there in the fandom. I mean, even you're an amazing photographer yourself, Colto. I mean, there's so many amazing photographers, and I love it. And now, on to the fourth question now, number 4. And that is, what's your experience been like being an Aussie fur, and what has the furry community been like there?
Being an Aussie fur, I feel does have quite a bit of contrast compared to the American furry community, for example. At least, from what I've heard of it. Now, we have about 8 furry conventions in total, with the biggest having over 2,000 attendees, and the other ones have considerably less attendees. But with such low counts, the community itself is a lot tighter with each other, where a lot of people know each other. It's kind of like a small town. From my experience locally in Sydney, we have lots of regular fur meets around. In fact, I co-run one of the biggest regular fursuit meets here, the S2 Monthly Fur Meet, which runs every month, and gives people the opportunity to fursuit in public.
You know, I will admit, there are so many amazing Australian furries I've met. I've even met some at MFF, I met some at Anthrocon. I think I actually met you briefly at Anthrocon as well. And honestly, that is just really awesome. So many amazing Australian furs out there. Yes. And now, on to the fifth and final question now. And that is, what are some of the best moments in the furry fandom that have impacted you?
I feel the furry fandom has impacted me in a big way, with the friends I've made along the way. I've made heaps of connections with a variety of different people since the very start of becoming a social furry that I still value to this day. It inspires me to create weekly content for everyone across the different social media platforms, which you can find me at ColtoFox in most places. Thank you for having me, Benji. I wish you all a lovely week and have a great night. Bye.
You know, I think that is really awesome. There were so many amazing moments I've had in the furry fandom, and I just love that. I love that. Yes. I want to give a big thanks to Colto Fox, for being in this interview. Seriously, give him a big thanks. I will leave all the links to his social medias in the description down below. So be sure to check him out for sure. Yes. If you guys did enjoy this, give us a like, subscribe, turn on notifications. But as for always, I've been y'all a good farewell.